Guyana is Mr. Kayshav Tewari, who is the Trade Officer in the High Commission of Guyana in India.
Excellencies, esteemed colleagues, founder of the GIBF, Dr. Joshi, the lovely GIBF team who welcomed us so warmly to Pune, members of the business community, friends all, good morning and namaste from the land of Clive Lloyd, land of Shiv Narayan Chandrapal, land of 6 people, and the land of many waters. Namaste. I'd like to thank, firstly, the organizers of the GIBF for pursuing greater relations with LAC, with the LAC region. It's an underdeveloped relationship, underutilized, but it has tremendous potential, especially given the advancements of India in recent years and its plans for integrating into the global economy, into the export economy even further. Being from the younger generation, I am acutely aware of our upgraded attention due to social media and so on. So I know we've had some very, very comprehensive presentations, so I'll try to be as brief as possible and to the point, engaging, hopefully. But firstly, a matter of protocol, I just wish to draw the attention of this to the presentation of the delegates of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, which included a map that depicted a portion of Guyana's sovereign territory as Venezuela's own. The inclusion of Guyana's sovereign territory in the map is contrary to internationally recognized jurisdiction of the republics of Guyana and Venezuela and is a breach of international protocol. Under the Argyle Declaration signed in December, Guyana and Venezuela both expressed their commitments to the LAC region remaining a zone of peace and agreed to resolve the controversy in accordance with the international law and the 1966 Geneva Agreement. It is our hope that the record of this meeting would faithfully reflect the concern as expressed by Guyana. So, the world today is not the same world it was 5 years ago. The India today is not the same India it was 5 years ago. The Guyana today is not the same Guyana it was 5 years ago. Over the last 5 years, in 2022, Guyana grew by 66% GDP. Last year, it grew by 38% GDP. And for the next 5 years, it will grow at an average of 20%. Thank you. Due to a prolific oil discovery, one of the greatest of the last decade, of 11 billion barrels of oil proven, 17 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, and this natural endowment has catapulted Guyana into a global player in the energy sphere, to the extent that by 2027, Guyana will become the largest per capita oil producer in the entire world. This is the Guyana of today. This is the Guyana of today, of Guyana of 2024, as a result of strong leadership, prudent macroeconomic management, and a sound development agenda. In terms of business opportunities, in the oil and gas, we can speak to that first. There are vast opportunities. Being from a developing country, now just acutely catapulted into this oil and gas sphere, you can understand that every aspect of the Guyanese economy needs to be built out, from infrastructure to health to education to services. So in the energy sphere, there's gaps, there are opportunities in every field. We will be commissioning about 7 FPSOs by 2027, which are large vessels that produce crude oil, and they in the ocean, and they export outwards. This backs up an entire supply chain of logistics, of crew, of agriculture, of training, of services, and so on. And all of these need to be built out, and rapidly so. A country that grows at 66% is a country that has opportunity for everyone. And Guyana has made it a point to invite India to join as a great partner, as a long-standing partner that not only enjoys diplomatic relations, but enjoys deep cultural relations. You may or may not know that Guyana comprises of 40% people of Indian origin, I myself being one of them. And it represents a deep tie with India that we pursue vigorously, especially given India's positioning in the global economy that is now taken on over the last few years. In the last year, our president visited on a state visit, our vice president visited. Only just 2 weeks ago, our prime minister visited, and in the next few months, our foreign secretary will be visiting. So there is rapid and full throttle engagement with India, and it shows that we are open to India, open to Indian capacity, expertise, capital, and so on. So, setting the stage just briefly, Guyana is a multi-ethnic country with 6 people: indigenous, African, Indians, Europeans, Chinese, multi-religious. It's the only English-speaking country in South America. So, right there you have, notwithstanding the diaspora element, you have a connection there as a gateway into Latin America in Guyana. And we're blessed with abundant natural resources, obviously, but our greatest prize is our warm and hospitable people who, I think, parallel the hospitality of the Indians in India. So we welcome you to visit Guyana. Its connectivity, it is well connected and well positioned, not only geographically, but strategically through multilateral arrangements. There's a grouping called CARICOM, the Grouping of Caribbean Communities, which represents about 19 million people. It's a free trade common market system. So countries outside have to enter the market with tariffs. But once you have access to a market, it can be exported within that market, within that 19 million, duty-free. So it's connected strategically in that regard. It is the seat of CARICOM. The headquarters of CARICOM is in Guyana, and therefore it also marks as a gateway into the Caribbean community, not only the South American sphere. It is connected, well, only 2 days ago, our president met with the president of Brazil, President Lula, and we discussed a rapid integration agenda to build roads out and to connect our countries so that this dream of greater connectivity with South America will become possible, and this is progressing rapidly. Guyana has diverse economic opportunities. If I may pause, I forgot I was supposed to play the video. I got carried away. So I can please play that video.
Guyana is open for investments. Opportunities for the investor range from energy, oil and gas, agriculture inclusive of fresh fruits and vegetables, and aquaculture such as fish and other seafoods, infrastructure, mining, forestry with the production of wood and wood products, manufacturing, ICT technology, trade and export, tourism, and services.
Thank you. So, as you've seen, Guyana is a beautiful country. Geographically, it has one of the largest densities of biodiversity in the world. It has pristine forests that have been kept standing for antiquity, and we've retained the policy of not cutting down our forests because of this commitment to the environment, commitment to the global good, which India, I believe, well, not I believe, I know, has demonstrated as well. So even small countries can contribute, to these global challenges of climate and climate change and so on. And so we welcome you to visit our forests as well. As it relates to the economic opportunities, here highlights just a few of the snapshots of Guyana's growth trajectory. The graph in yellow shows the growth of the global economy, and the big one at the top represents Guyana. So just to list a few of the economic opportunities, as I said, in energy, we're rapidly pursuing the development of greater energy. That's the base of any economy. Energy stands as the underpinnings for manufacturing, for consumer growth, for demand, and so on. So we are developing a natural gas project, which will be 300 megawatts to lower the cost of electricity by half, which would hopefully spur on manufacturing capacity. So we're at that stage of now investing into energy, and this involves as well renewable energy. We have already established connection with an Indian company that has supplied over 30,000 units, solar units, to Guyana to electrify its hinterland communities, which shows another step towards greater India-Guyana relations. Solar, wind, hydro, these are all important fields that we like to pursue in energy as we seek to lower the cost of energy, lower the cost, and build the efficiency of our economy. The next important thing, so with the background of the oil revenues, we hope to utilize the revenues to build out our economies. We are acutely aware of the challenges of having too many resources, especially too many resources put onto you just so quickly. So we are building on agriculture, we are building on tourism, we are building on manufacturing, and we're building on ICT and health as well. These are important parts, and these are all important parts that I believe India can contribute significantly with their expertise, their world-class expertise in these fields. In agriculture, we hope to be the breadbasket of CARICOM, of the 19 million members and the millions of tourists who visit the Caribbean. We hope to produce that because we have the land. The Caribbean islands are very small, but we have the land to be able to produce the products to enter these markets duty-free in soybean, in rice, in dairy, in value-added. These are all things that were started only recently and have progressed so rapidly. And it marks significant opportunity. So in agriculture, there's great potential. In tourism, we've been ranked as one of the leading ecotourism destinations with our pristine rainforests, our untouched rainforests. We have the largest single drop waterfall in the world. We have about 3% of the world's total animal diversity, animal species are in Guyana, and for a small country that it's a large number. So, and we have a lot of people from Europe, from America coming to visit and seeing bird watching and indigenous community interactions. These are all things that can be pursued. And as well, something that as India grows as well, there's a new trend of diaspora tourism, that Indians can come to Guyana, Suriname, Trinidad, and see the diaspora as they have evolved over 2 centuries or so, and to see how their culture has retained, how their culture has changed, in what ways, and in what ways it remains similar. We still love our curry. We eat curry every day, and curry and roti. And I feel right at home in India as I do at home in Guyana. We are pivoting on medical tourism, on health tourism as well. And these are all important parts of Guyana's development agenda that prioritizes economic diversification into the basics of health, of education, of digitization, and of agriculture. In ITC, Pune has, I'm told, great capacity. On this front, there are opportunities in of course in network management and security, software development, data processing centers, and so on. Being the seat of CARICOM, being the gateway into the South American, we must think of it in that line, that these places, that Guyana represents an ideal spot to begin these sort of ventures. So finally, one opportunity as well is the human resources and skill. Guyana High Commission has engaged a lot of Indians in India, given their vast expertise in agriculture, in health, in various technical fields, to now travel to Guyana to work and to earn money for themselves, but of course contribute to the development of Guyana in a similar model as the Qatars and the UAEs have done. Being small economies with limited populations, they need that capacity, they need that support, and we are engaging India in that regard to provide and to make up for the technical capacity the technical gaps that we have in Guyana. So these are just a few of the many opportunities in Guyana, and I invite you to keep a tab on Guyana. I think it has a huge growth story ahead of it, as does India, and I think that it is the gateway to South America. It is the gateway to the Caribbean, and it will be one of the biggest economies, one of the most prolific economies in the coming years. On that note, I just wish to invite you to our first virtual trade and investment summit. Our Foreign Secretary, the leaders of our relevant BSOs, our Private Sector Commission, the head organization, our Manufacturing and Services Association, the India-Guyana Chamber of Commerce, which has been established in Guyana. They'll be speaking. It's 2 hours at 7 p.m. Next week, Wednesday. I invite you to join and just listen in on the range of opportunities. There you get a more comprehensive feel of this most encouraging and dynamic country that is Guyana. So on that note, I hope I haven't taken up too much of your time. I invite you to visit Guyana, to see some diaspora, to see cricket. We have the Cricket Carnival, CPL. We combine cricket, our CPL, our version of the IPL, with some carnival, some concerts, some Caribbean vibes. So we invite you to visit and attend our many business conferences and so on. But I hope that this presentation was useful, at least giving you a sense of where Guyana is and where Guyana is headed, and where the opportunities are and where we can collaborate on. So I thank you very much, and I look forward to the panel discussions after.